And look who we have back on JTV.
Hi guys.
Hi Maureen.
I'm back. I'm so excited.
I know, how excited are we to have Maureen Blanquisco, champion. Now you have to tell me what show it is that you won, because I know you got second in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then you won the
Giant Layug.
Oh, that's right, in Florida.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you
You look so great at both shows, and you came strong second in Chicago, and then you just kept going, and then you got your your Olympia qualification, and now you're going to DO. How do you feel?
I feel really good. I was a little worried because I had a 2-year break.
Has it been 2 years already?
It's been 2 years.
Wow.
So I was a little worried, but hey.
We have to talk about that. It's been a long 2 years. It's been way too long. Last time we had her, I think we did the glutes or quads or lower body.
We did the lower body.
I died.
And you came back for more today.
Yeah, now it's shoulder. I love it.
Yeah, but she's coming back today, and she's already qualified for the Olympia. So I know that I'm working with an Olympian girl here today.
I know, man. That's awesome.
So it's awesome, and she trains so hard, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, so we're back at Gold's, you guys, our old stomping ground.
Yeah.
We're glad to be back with Maureen.
And look who's coming though.
I know. Here's Fran. Oh, we have to get Fran on.
We might have to get Fran on.
He looks very serious.
Yeah, he's walking in.
Oh, hold on, I gotta film this.
With his cupcake. Look at that.
Is that the muffin pump? Is that the no, too late. Is that the muffin pump?
That's the muffin pump.
What's up,
Hey guys, how's it going, man?
How are you, Fran?
Nice to you.
Hey, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming back, man. Back at Gold's. I know. It's so good to see you.
It's been a while.
I know, it's been, yeah, awesome.
It's good seeing you.
All right, very cool.
What's up, brother?
Very nice, very nice. All right. So
Here we go again.
I know he's very grabby, as we saw in the little excerpt of the video.
I made the little excerpt that I put up. I made sure that I put.
He loved it. Yeah, that was awesome.
And you were like, I saw that.
All right, so we're gonna train some shoulders, and I want to talk with Maureen to see what she's been up to the past 2 years, and what she did to look so great and to qualify for this Olympia. I cannot wait to go to Florida to go see her compete. We're excited, right, Biggie?
Oh, I'm so excited for her. She's absolutely awesome. I'm excited to train her today because she works like a bull in the gym. So I know she's gonna go.
She is not a quitter. She's a warrior.
No,
so
not at all.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, thanks you guys.
Okay, so we started this workout with a tri-set. I wanted to go for a maximum pump to start right away. What we did was I broke the shoulders up into its 3 different points: the posterior head, the anterior head, and the medial head. We started off with a rear lateral facing down on an incline bench. I had her palms facing back away from her body, and what that does is it helps to isolate the rear delts a little bit more. I find that position helps a little bit more to isolate them, which is what we want to do in this movement. We did a very, very strict movement. I didn't have her stopping in any position. I just had doing a very, very strict movement, moving the weight slowly and under control, and really trying to isolate the posterior delts or the rear delts. The next movement we moved into was a seated dumbbell press. And what I had her do, as you could see, is I didn't do the standard seated dumbbell press. I had her angling the dumbbells downwards into the shoulders, and she didn't press straight overhead. She kind of pressed in a semicircle up over the head, which keeps a little bit more tension on the shoulders, and it actually helps to engage not only the anterior shoulders, but also the medial delts as well. This is an excellent variation. Then finally we finished with a side lateral, but as you can see, we went very, very heavy. So we did a heavy partial range side lateral. So she was only moving the dumbbells through about the first third range of the movement. We were keeping constant tension on the shoulders the whole time. She wasn't resting them, and it keeps a lot of tension on the medial deltoids. It allows you to go a little bit heavier. It gives you a little bit of a different feel. This is a tremendous superset to hit all 3 heads of the delts. So now I moved the workout into individual movements, and I went back to hitting the posterior delt. We did this with high cable, high rope pulls. We did these seated on an incline bench, leaning back at about 45 degrees or so. I had her grab the ropes at the end in what position is comfortable for her wrists. And as you can see, she's pulling the rope back as high as she can, up to at least chin level or maybe up to the nose level. This way we're helping to isolate the rear delts and take the back muscles out of it. Since her trapezius is very, very strong, I was very, very careful about having her not bring the weight back too far, because we just want to engage those rear delts. And I was having her hold the contraction on every single repetition for 4 full seconds. So she was muscling back, keeping those rear delts tense for 4 seconds, and then controlling to the front of the movement. Excellent movement for the rear delts. So now I wanted to isolate the front of the shoulder, the anterior deltoids. Again, we use the incline bench set to the same position as the movement prior. And we're using a short straight bar. And we're going to do a cable front raise. As you can see, she starts, never lets the bar actually touch her thighs. So she's holding it just above her thighs to start the movement. She's very carefully muscling the weight back, not throwing it back. She's bringing it to a position just overhead. She's going to hold that contracted position for 1 full second, and then we're going to use a 4-second eccentric or negative contraction on the way down. This is a really great way to hit the anterior delts differently from the regular standing position, because it puts a lot of tension at the beginning of the movement and also at the end of the movement, because we're using cables rather than a barbell. Give this a shot if you're having trouble with the anterior delts. Okay, so for the final movement, again, I wanted to go back to hitting primarily the medial shoulder or the lateral deltoid. And we're doing this with an upright row movement, but we're doing this differently than most upright rows, where you're going to use a single arm dumbbell, and we're actually going to do it from the seated position, which is a great way to make sure that there's no momentum in the movement. And as she does this movement, as you can see, she's not just bringing the elbow straight up, which would actually hit more of the trapezius than the shoulder. I actually have her angling it out to the side. So it's almost like she's kind of doing a side lateral, but in a bent arm position. I tell her to think about pretending there's a string connected to the shoulder, connected to the elbow, and that she's pulling it, the string is being pulled out to the side so that she can activate the medial deltoid. She's doing it very strictly, and she's bringing the arm up just to a point so that the upper arm is basically parallel to the ground. This is an excellent movement, different than a side lateral for hitting the medial deltoid. A little bit of a different feel, and great if you need some more shoulder width.
All right, we just finished a great shoulder workout. Maureen, you kicked butt.
She kicked my butt, literally.
I remember how hard you trained now that we got her back on the show. You remember it, E.
I remember that I was so impressed with how she trained legs, because I pushed her hard, and she
gives you a 2-3
she
more.
Was shaking, and I'd be like, all right, 2 more, and she'd be like, oh wait, no, another 3. I was like, whoa.
I gotta impress Jay.
Girl's serious.
Jay's watching.
You're impressive. Maureen, how was the workout?
The workout is intense, guys. I love it. I love training with him. He always kicked my butt. Thank you.
You normally train by yourself. You don't really have a set training partner. You said, right?
I never had a training partner. I always train myself since the beginning of my journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long is that?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. Well, it's not that long. You're still young. What are some of the things that you have picked up the most today? Like what are some of the things that he showed you that you're gonna incorporate in your routine, or like little things, little tricks?
From this workout,
yeah,
pretty much everything, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Like, all of our, like the one we did today, as you guys saw,
yeah,
everything is like more isolated in the shoulder. I have a huge problem isolating the shoulder because my traps is way more dominant.
Okay.
So we focus on that, and the pre-exhaustion is amazing. So
well,
I will definitely use everything.
The good thing is that this is on video, so if you want to go watch it again, watch yourself to remember.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
What did I do again?
The way we execute the workout is way different. It's that little tiny detail is super important, really.
Awesome. Well, we hope that we get together again with Maureen. She said she wants to focus on her glutes more.
Yeah.
We were talking. Well, she actually, while we were resting, she said, "What would be your #1, glute exercise that you would pick for somebody?" And so, of course, I was like, well, I can't do that. I'm like, let's talk about the specific part of the glutes that we're talking about. So she was like, then she got more specific in the area. So then I started throwing out some movements. So yeah, but listen, she's a bikini girl, and I think that bikini girls and wellness girls, their main focus really is on that lower body.
Yeah.
And glutes obviously play such a huge part. So I think that no matter how good they are, they always want to improve in that area. So she was asking me, and so I gave her some answers. So maybe one day we'll have to do just a glute workout together.
That would be so amazing. I'm waiting. I'll be waiting for that.
You know what's great is that, or what's amazing is that she actually told us off camera also that she never trains her arms, and her arms are great. So everything she's got as far as arms is just from secondary, muscle group from doing other body parts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've heard that before. We heard that from Laura Lee.
Yeah.
And I know some other bikini girls have said the same thing. And I think just from working really hard on back movements, so the pulling movements, and maybe just some pressing for shoulders and things like that. will carry over to their arms, and they don't really, obviously, there's at no point do they need to flex their biceps or triceps.
No.
So as long as their arms stay in proportion with their shoulders, I think they're good to go. So it's kind of cool that they can kind of just say, well, I don't got to train this body part.
So what body part are you usually doing, Maureen? Everything but? So you do tell me what
I
you do.
pretty much do everything except bicep and tricep.
Okay, so you do back, you do
So
chest.
it also depends on all my prep, because 2 years, 3 years, I haven't touched my legs for a while.
Okay.
So this prep going to Olympia, I have to touch my legs. So
Okay.
it depends on how I look.
Gotcha. Okay. Great. All right. Well, E, I'm glad that you got the chance to come down from Bakersfield to get reunited with her. We're so glad that she came back on the channel. And right away, as soon as I was able to reach out, because she changed her number, it was not that easy to get a hold of her this time. But I was able to go through Fran, who put me in touch with her.
I'm always with Fran, so just text me there.
Yeah, absolutely, she's always with friends.
And she said yes right away. It was great, and we really appreciate
Of course,
it.
for you guys.
I hope I get to do more with her. She's
a warrior.
She's a warrior,
Yes.
and we're trying to sneak her over to Vegas too in the future.
We're pushing hard.
Pushing her to Vegas, 'cause that's where she and Fran belong. But yeah, I hope to do more with her in the future. I want to wish you the very best of luck
Thank you.
in the Olympia, and regardless of where you place, whether
You're a
it's
champion.
first or last, you're still amongst the best in the world
Yeah.
and getting better. So, as long as she's presenting the best passage she's ever has, she's a winner. And listen, she's going back and she looks amazing. We love her. She's got such an amazing attitude. She's just so gracious and appreciative of everything. I love people like her, so we root for you all the
Yes.
time.
Thank you.
And we know you're going to do great.
Awesome. All right, thanks you guys. All right, so we're still with the beautiful Maureen Blanquisco, and I'm just I wanted to talk to her a little bit longer, because this is actually the first time since we filmed since the quarantine. So a lot has happened. It's been 2 years, I think she said, since she was back on the channel. So I want to kind of see what she's been up to the past 2 years, and how she prepped herself to look so great to win the Janet Layug show and qualify for the Olympia. So Maureen, I'm so glad you're back on the channel. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you guys. I'm so excited to be here last night. Yes. Oh God, I can't wait to be there.
Oh yes, Jay definitely has been keeping his eye on you, and we were so excited. I told you when you got second place at the Chicago, especially against Laura Lee, which is also a great competitor. So, and then one you were all Olympia qualification shortly after in Florida. So tell me a little bit what you have been to since last time we filmed for the past 2 years with the quarantine and everything. How were you able to handle all that and keep doing what you're doing?
Honestly, the last time we filmed, I was actually prepping. I don't know if you remember. So I was prepping for Greater Golf, and they canceled my show 3 weeks out. So I was, all my preps is always like half a year. I don't do like 12 weeks. I don't do that because my body doesn't it doesn't process that way. I need a longer prep. And so after that, I just decided, you know what, since it's pandemic, I really couldn't take a risk anymore to just do another prep. So I just focused on my family. I had to go back all the way to Norway and, attend to my sister's wedding. And what's weird, I got stuck there. I was stuck in Europe because my passport was like expired. So, and the pandemic too, so everything was closed. So we were actually stuck in Spain for 4 or 5 months. We were supposed to be there for 5 days, and we end up being there for almost 5 months.
That's where Fran's from, Spain, right?
So me and friends stayed there for a while, and then we came back here, and I was like, you know what, it's starting to slow down, so why don't we start prepping again? So I decided to prep for Chicago, and yeah, we just go for it.
And how many weeks did you prep for Chicago?
I started my prep since December.
Wow, and that was just like a few weeks ago. So you did over 6 months diet.
That's pretty much how my diet works. Yeah, I'm used to that. And for 6 months, there's no cheat, guys. I'm not playing around.
So you actually isn't that hard on? I mean, some people, they do 12, 16 dieting. They can't wait to get off the diet because it just gets to them mentally. You're not like that, so you can actually stay long time, and it's okay for you mentally.
I mean, diet-wise, when I say like I started my diet since December, it doesn't mean like I'm starving. Like I still have more food, but I'm eating more clean. But I grew up with my grandmother and from the Philippines. I pretty much eat rice and fish. That's how I grew up. So for me, this prep, it's not a big deal. It's like I'm just living a normal life, except no sauces, right? So it's not. It doesn't hit my mental. I'm pretty much living normal. So yeah.
And what did you do in Spain for 5 months? What was like a normal day for you guys over there?
We had fun. We had a blast in Spain. We were driving to Madrid, Valencia, Zaragoza, where Francisco came. Like we just drive around. Honestly, we met so much people. We met so much pros from Spain, and we went some shows. It was great. It was.
Was it open? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty much open. Really, it's open. So we went to a show actually, Alicante Pro show,
okay.
and we were with Regan Grimes. We were with the pros. Yeah, we actually stayed in an apartment for almost 2 months. That was great.
It doesn't sound like it was such a bad time.
It wasn't at all. Actually, that time I did more than ever. Yeah, it was fun. It was
So
fun.
you made the best of the quarantine.
100%. We always made the best out of it, like with Francisco.
Yeah, he's kind of a hoot. He's fun to be around.
We're like gypsies by heart. We like to travel.
All right. So tell me how it felt. I mean, this year, obviously, doing so well right out of the bat. I mean, sometimes it's a process. You have to keep competing and competing, especially for you guys. You have to win a show to qualify the Olympia. It's really hard for bikini. You can't finish second or third. Like they make it tough for you guys. So after doing so well right out of the gate, and after your second show, you qualify for the Olympia. How do you feel about that?
I feel so. I mean, my number one priority was not just to win a pro show. I really want to go to Olympia. That's what we are all aiming for. So when we went to Chicago, I mean, I wasn't upset at all because I had like a 2-year break, and to be a top 5, I think that's amazing. So and then we just decided to go to Janet Layug, and we actually got the qualification there, which is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, I'm still like 9 cloud until now. I'm still there. I still couldn't believe that I'm actually going to Olympia for the second year.
Wow, unbelievable. You were telling me off camera, actually, Fran was spilling the bean off camera that you're actually gonna be doing something kind of out of the box and in the mainstream. You're gonna be going to New York soon. You want to talk about that trip and what it's about? It's kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. I got this offer from this great big fashion designer, Alexander Wang. So they are gonna do like a new campaign. I don't know if I can tell it, but they have a campaign this coming September. So I get asked if I could do a modeling job for him. I was like, hell yeah, like I mean, who I am. Like, of course, I'll take every opportunity. It's great opportunity, especially when it's outside fitness, right? It's refreshing to do something else than fitness, right?
Wow, congratulations. So will you let the bodybuilding world know on your social media when it's out and where that'd be awesome.
100%. I'm so proud of this. Really, 100%, guys.
You should be proud. That's awesome. Well, Maureen, thank you so much for coming back on JTV today. I know Jay will be glad to have you back on the channel. We're glad to have you back on the channel. We're proud of you. Congratulations on your Olympia qualification, and we can't wait to go see you compete in Florida. Best of luck to you and Fran, and then I hope we get you back on JTV in the near future.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay, for having me again for the 3rd time. And thank you, Dave. And thank you for Eric for training and killing me in shoulders. Thank you guys so much.
Dave Max 6 with Maureen Blanquisco for JTV, and we're out.